Good afternoon, everyone! We're so back. F1 is so back. I'm so excited to be back. This break has been way too long. Vola, Caladori, Sonia, David. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Armitage, welcome. We have some people over on Twitch as well. Welcome, welcome. What a break it has been. Rye, welcome. Long weeks ran fast. Yes, indeed. What's up, Elvis? Vasiliv, can't decide what's YouTube or Twitch. You can be on both. I'm in both chats. I'm in both chats. Priority submission not appearing for you. Are you a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch? You need to link your Discord account to the account that you are subbed with on Twitch. As long as your Twitch is linked with your Discord, it should pop up automatically. I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry. You can send me a DM after this, and I'll maybe look at it for next week then. All right. How's everyone doing? What's your thoughts for no negative for Sunday's rain? I think the rain is going to be so bad that they don't race, which makes me inclined to not use the no negative personally. It's looking pretty bad. I'm surprised they haven't done any scheduling swaps yet in terms of timing. Pumped to be back on F1 weekend. So am I. Finally race week. Yup. Alright. We have a bunch of things to get through. Alright, Haluku, I see that. Yeah. Just send a DM and we can maybe solve it for next stream. Are we all on McLaren? I think a lot of people are shifting McLaren. Yeah, it'd be good if they moved their race a few hours earlier, but they need to announce that, like, yesterday, if that's the case. No negative locked in here. Have terrible history with chips, so do the opposite to me. Uber is locking no negative, so let's all not do what he does. Alright, so, let's start with some F1 predicts. See what we can if we can predict what will happen in this very uncertain Miami GP. I'm planning to do a final budget builder for this week. Do you think Lindblad is a sell? Probably. But I wouldn't do it for a hit. So only do it if you have the transfers to spare. Alright. Predictions. Predict the podium. This is for the race, not the sprint, obviously. Very difficult to call this week. It could really be anyone from the top 7. You can't really count out Max Verstappen. Maybe not. Hamilton's not looking on it at all. How are we preparing for the rain tomorrow? I think I'm just gonna pretend like it's not a thing. So yeah, I think we just have to. I'm kind of just pretending that it's not gonna happen, you know. And in terms of not happening, it's just no rain, or if there is rain, I feel like my decision is gonna be the same. We haven't seen anyone race in the rain, so we don't know how people's setups are. There could be like limited running. You know, we only get like 40 minutes of on-track action, and then it's just red flagged. And in that case, will full points be awarded? Will there be enough? There's so many uncertain things about that. I think. I mean, one thing with limited running is that there's not going to be as many negative scores, right? Because there's not that many people, you know, dropping positions or, you know, having a risk at DNFing. So I think that's something we have to keep in mind. And also for that reason, just because of how like heavy the rain is predicted to be, and with the thunderstorms, the thunder showers or whatever, I think we just kind of just pretend like we don't factor it into our decision making this week, other than the fact that we don't use chips, right? So I think that's how I'm gonna play it, but it's close. Would you sell Bortoleto for a -10 to protect budgets? No, I don't think so. I don't think I'd do it for a -10. Which constructor has the better prospect, V-Carb or Haas? Probably Haas. Yeah, Ferrari plus McLaren to bank the sprint quality positions is probably the play. Not even a wildcard chip. I mean, if you're planning on taking like a -20 point hit, like two or more additional transfers over the free ones, I think wildcard is definitely a play. What's up, man? How's the journalism? It's going well. It's going well. Kerbal with Max, driver of the day with Rain. That is a Kerbal. I like the play, Haluku. Yeah, Mercedes is just faster on race pace. We're gonna look at the simulations before we go too deep into the analysis. Will Ferrari still have the advantage of the line? I mean, I don't think the advantage will have gotten bigger. If anything, other teams might have figured out how to mitigate their bad starts. But I still think Ferrari will have good starts throughout the rest of the season, just by nature of what their turbo is like. You know, their smaller turbo. Alright. My bet is no chips in Miami and no McLaren. No McLaren, that's brave. A lot of people are going for them. Simulations seem pretty bad. Lewis is second for expected points. Yeah, because he's starting P7, so there are... They've simulated him gaining positions. -10 to drop Arvid? I wouldn't. Yo, JC, what's up? Alright, let's actually do this. Okay, predict the podium for the race. No points for George Russell. Damn. I'm gonna throw some McLaren boys in here. I feel like there's a lot of points to be gained here. Do I think anyone will win over Mercedes though? Screw it, I'm gonna bet on McLaren this week. Why not? I'll do this. I'll do this. That seems crazy, no? But why not? It's our second sprint in 2026. Where does Lando Norris finish? Definitely podium. Definitely podium. What? Why is this worth less points? Oh, because they made this obviously before the he took pole. Interesting. Well, this seems like a freebie. I might as well just pop the ship on this. There's no way this is not coming true. That's just 30 points guaranteed. In the sprint, which driver finishes highest? I actually don't know, like, the optimal play with the 2x here. I think it's optimal to do it here, because you score double if you get the exact point right, and then you can double it again. So I think the optimal play is always to put the chip on this one. But I'm doing a kind of out there prediction with this, so I think I'm just gonna pop it here for a free 15 points. I don't really know how to... There's probably a way to optimize this mathematically, but I'm not that locked in on the F1 predict. In the sprint, who will finish higher? Gasly. Which driver takes pole position? I'll slap a Norris back to back. No, he looked pretty fast. No, I was really close to him. The podium is for the race though, so we don't know what's gonna happen in the race. Will both Williams cars get out of Q1? I'm gonna say no, because they wouldn't have yesterday. Who will set the fastest lap time of the race? This is completely random always. I'm just gonna put it on Kimi Antonelli. Which team will set the fastest pit stop time? I'm just gonna keep betting on Ferrari. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Will the safety car or VSC be required during the first 10 laps? Actually, I'm gonna put it on McLaren. 28 points, and they are usually pretty fast. They've not been so far this year, but I feel like with their upgrades, surely the team is locking in as well. Safety car, I'm gonna say yes. Oh, first 10 laps. Ooh. I mean, there's gonna be a safety car due to rain. I'm just gonna say yes. Hulk or Bortoleto, I can afford either. Definitely Hulk. Definitely Hulk. How many classified finishers? I'm gonna say there's a lot of... Aston Martin are DNFing again, probably. They're useless. I'll put 19. So 3 DNFs, sure. This one is always hard to call. Who leads the Drivers' Championship after the Miami Grand Prix? I'm gonna say that Kimi Antonelli still leads it. Boom! That's my predictions. Where am I in the league on this? 6.4k overall. 34th in the prediction league with you guys. Out of 93 players, you guys better step up. Where's... Here you go. Here's the league code for the Predict League, if you haven't joined it yet. Here for the Lando choke. We'll see about that. What do you think about not having exposure on McLaren this weekend? It's definitely a risk, because a lot of people are going for it. So if McLaren does really well, you're losing out on it. But it's also a bet against a lot of the engaged strategists in the game, right? I think a lot of, like, people who are actively playing the game and actively making transfers are going to jump on McLaren this week. So this is a chance to get a 1-up on them by not going for it. Motorsport saying Mercedes had the best race pace by 0.33. That's interesting. It'll be interesting to see, and I mean, ultimately, at least for my team, going for McLaren. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Going for McLaren just makes so much sense, like so much sense. And the reason for that, I explained it in my final thoughts video yesterday. We need to make transfers on my other teams as well. Because I avoid taking a -10 hits, right? This is my team. I think it would be Kimi Antonelli that would stay in my team. And then my driver of choice here would be Hulkenberg. And I just do that for 2 free transfers. And then if this turns out to be a mistake and you want Mercedes here instead, I can just go to Mercedes in Canada for 2 transfers then. And I like sticking with both Behrman and Ocon here. Are we dumping Behrman or Lindblad? If you could choose, I would choose Lindblad, but obviously there's a pretty big cost difference between those two. If we're not playing wildcard here, when will we play it? I mean, what if we get to, like, Spain and Red Bull bring upgrades and Max Verstappen's first? And, like, Red Bull look like the clear favorites? Then you play the wildcard there. What if Williams drop a new chassis after the summer break, and, you know, we have 2 Williams drivers who are down at like 8 million at that point, who suddenly see must-haves because they're like P3, P4 in constructor runnings. I think this year with upgrades, one upgrade is going to be so big that it shifts a lot. That's when we can play the wild card. Can't find a race pace sim. We'll look for that. I'm not getting great vibes from Haas either here. Not necessarily, but it doesn't look awful. Merlino says, you're the goat, I just copy your team. You will be burned by that at one point. I promise you. You will be burned by that at some point. But you're welcome to, if that's what you find enjoyment in. So much sense, feels almost identical to McLaren upgrades a year or so ago around this time. Yes, which completely changed the season, I agree. I love the profile picture, by the way. Is that... Wait, who is that Oscar Piastri merged with Jeffrey Dahmer? Or is that you? I'm so sorry if that's you, but that looks like someone has merged Jeffrey Dahmer and Oscar Piastri. Can we talk about this? Am I wrong? What is this? Is it Oscar Piastri and Jeffrey Dahmer? I think it's Oscar Dahmer, dude. If that's like just you and what you look like, I'm so sorry. But that's really funny. That's really funny. Anyway. Ferrari, Ciso on Twitch says Ferrari plus Ocon or McLaren plus Bottas. Ferrari plus Ocon. I think Ferrari are kind of must-haves. They're in such a good price point, they're long-term holds. Like, until they show something that make us think that they're not. You know what I mean? What shampoo do you use, man? Head and Shoulders. I'm getting... dude, my hair's getting long, by the way. I don't know if you can see it. It's like... It's in a proper state. I'm looking like a proper trucker at times. Elio! Good to be back. Welcome back. I thought you said L'Oreal because you're worth it. That's pretty funny. Nah, just a classic, just a classic, just a classic. Daily washer? No, I'm not. My scalp can't handle that. I do shampoo like twice a week. I feel like that's the right amount of times. Okay, enough about my hair care routine. Also, my team switched back. Yeah, I feel pretty safe in what my team's going to be. I just think it's going to be this. I'm gonna rearrange it here. I forget that you can make transfers and still change it, you know? The change that they made to it. I'm gonna get this team locked. Just in case. Alright, what am I doing with my other teams, by the way? So, this is the stupid team that I was going to use Limitless on, but I'm not doing that anymore. We have 3 transfers. I mean, we're building budget, so we get Ocon in, for sure. We just keep these 2. On this team, I'm keeping this setup until Monaco. That's the plan with this team. I think I'm gonna punt on... Maybe punt on Norris this week. Because I can. I essentially have 2 free transfers. What's Norris's budget threshold? Required points. Yeah, 81. Never mind. We're not punting on Norris. Cancel that. Would you wildcard to your first team? I would consider it. I think it's a good wildcard team. Why not Ferrari, McLaren... Ferrari, Mercedes, Leclerc, Lawson, Ocon, Colapinto, Hulk on the main team. Because it's a -10 to get to it. I would have to use an additional transfer. We're not punting Norris here. Gotta stay budget building on this team. I guess we're just doing the Ocon transfer then. I guess I could do this. That feels pretty safe. Why not Colapinto over Behrman? I guess you're right. I should differentiate my strategy here. I should split my strategies and have different drivers. Why no Mercedes with McLaren? This is my 3rd team. I'm just thinking on different teams now. I think I'll do this for this. And then what am I doing with this team then? That's already on Mercedes. Can I go to Ferrari here soon? That's a pretty spicy team. What are we doing here? I think I'm just gonna play it kind of a bit by ear here. Keep Behrman or Ocon. If you can choose, I would probably stay safe in Ocon. I think Behrman has a higher point ceiling, but there's a chance you might have to sell Behrman for budget reasons next week. If he doesn't have a monster weekend in Miami. 100% Oscar Dahmer, by the way, was meant to be ironic. Okay, good. But I was so confused because I saw it, like, I couldn't place it. I got the, like... But it was Oscar Dahmer. That's really funny that I clocked that. That's so funny. No negative thoughts. I think no negative is a fine play, but if it's, like, too much rain so that they just red flag the race, it's kind of awful. Budget or McLaren plus Ferrari? I think McLaren plus Ferrari if you can get to it for free. Hey there, finally back. Welcome, welcome. Leclerc predicted as the best scorer for the weekend in Sims. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, let's actually talk about Sims before I start making transfers on all my teams. I have a song that's called It's a Simulation. Here we go. We're simming. I've forgotten to fix my accounts. Whatever. We'll use the free version. So, what is my budget? It's 109.2 with my highest. I think that's my highest. 109.2, 107.9. Wow, my other teams are so much richer. It's actually kind of crazy. $107.9. They really like Leclerc in The Sims. This is just because he's. I mean, okay, we gotta go back to basics. Okay, we gotta go back to basics here. Hold up, I'm gonna need to take my hoodie off. It's getting way too. Whew. I think we need to go back to basics, right? Sprints, there's not that many points in sprints, right? For the position that you finish on. And if you are a Ferrari and you jump 4 cars off the jump in a sprint race, that's pretty good. I feel like the Ferrari starts really, really work to their favor, specifically in sprint races, right? I'm not wrong about that. So I wonder if that's kind of what this is and why it looks like it does. Interestingly, that makes like Hulkenberg a bad option, right? Because of Audi's terrible race starts. I don't think I've talked about that enough on the channel. How bad. I think Bortoletto's best start so far this year was like down 4 positions off the line. Audi are so slow off the line. How do you reverse changes? I mean, you just make the changes back and then click confirm. They calculate transfers now based on the difference between your team across the week. 107.9 is still crazy. It's pretty good, but I mean, look at my team 3. I think my team 3 is the richest. No, 108.7. Yeah, my second team. This team is the richest one. 109.2. Woof. Rich man right here. And we'll do budget plays here. Don't really know what else I'm doing with this team. I'm probably making one more transfer, but I mean, I could probably switch this. Oh, 0.1 away from affording this, by the way. Wow, that is tragic. Look at this. 0.1 away from this. That's a crazy team to afford. I do have to. Well, I've already used one to sell Lindblad to Hulkenberg. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I can sell Behrman to Hulkenberg instead and keep Lindblad, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm keeping the George Russell here, man. Yo, thank you so much for the sub, Big Papa Bob. 109.1 main team. Other 2 budget builders did worse on the money rip. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But hey, main team being rich, that's what you want to see. All right, can we get a little chat spam here? What's everyone's budget like? My highest was this one at 109.2. My main team at 107.9. Where's everyone at? 109.5? Yeesh! 2 of those. Mackenzie and Lucky. 105.5, you're cooked. You're fine. You'll catch up. It's not the end of the world right now. Team 2 for Nixie is 109.9. Nico also at 109.9. Is anyone above 110? Yakov 109.1, the highest. Jules with 110.0, highest so far. 109.9 Haluku, 109.9 for Elvis. 108.3 for Great White. 109.7 on budget team, that's pretty good. Calandori, 109.5. 106.3 is not cooked. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. 109.4, 42nd in Global League. Woo-wee, Mike. To have over 110, you need to have run double cheap 2A constructor, if I'm not mistaken. It's possible. 109.9. There's some big ones out there. There's some big ones. But notice that, like, most people, like, even on the lower end of this community, it's like 105. So it's like it's between 105 and 110 mostly, which is pretty interesting. 108.7, 8.7, 6.5. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Where are people in global? I think a lot of us should be pretty high up, no? Whether it's just a random equalizer, yup. What would be the best 109.9 team? I mean, it's something like... It's something like this, no? I mean, probably with Mercedes in here for the differential. I mean, this could obviously be McLaren, and then you can choose your upgrades. But that's what I mean, like, those are at like 109 and above. There's not really that much more you can improve on, apart from, like I'm 0.1 million away from affording this team, which is pretty powerful. And I'm at 109.2. So anything above 109.3, it's probably literally just this team with Mercedes. News, Lindblad to start from the pit lane. Interesting. Yeah, let's get what's global rank? Calandor is 85th in the global. Yeesh. Yeah, where's everyone in global? My best team right now, which is my main team, is at 2,958 with limitless used, not 3x. I like to see Medusa Beerman as the best pick. If Electric Storm Beerman loses money. Yep, that's true. You're correct in that. Beerman needs the overtakes. I'm curious what... anyone who has not used their Limitless yet, what's your highest... what's your rank? Because I think a lot of people who are... Like, even my Team 2 here has used Limitless. But used it in a worse weekend. Are you sure to keep Behrman? I probably don't have another choice. I'm probably keeping him. I'm switching him out in a few of my other teams. But on my main team, I'm probably keeping. I think the heavy favorite for Ferrari in The Sims, by the way, is just that they are gonna get so many points from jumping people in the start. $62K, no limitless of 3x use for Big Papa Bob. I think that's probably the highest. Highest is 6K without limitless. That's insane. I assume you've used 3x there though. 69K without limitless. Yeah, that seems about right. Priority to buy Ocon or Hulk? Ocon if you can afford it. I think Ocon is one of the best ones this week. Chefrem on Twitch, welcome. I got 5K with the limitless used and 64K without limitless. Yeah, makes sense. 100K no chips. Yep. But I mean the ranks are bundled so close together that these high value chips that people have, you know, used already, like ripped off, they're definitely contributing a lot to the global rank. I'd be curious to see who is the highest placed player without playing a chip so far. Like, where that person actually lies. Ocon to Colapinto or save a transfer. I think Ocon could be good next race, and I would have to sell Colapinto anyway, plus Ocon is good in the rain. I would... Oh, Ocon to Colapinto here. I would save a transfer. I think Ocon is a great hold. I wouldn't sell Ocon at all. I think Ocon is better than Colapinto, actually. Mercedes or McLaren? It's close. Yo, Peter! I like Mercedes, Matt. I'm gonna get to yours in a second, Peter. I like Mercedes a lot. It's just since I can get to McLaren for free, it feels safer to do so. And Mercedes don't look dominant. -10 to swap Lindblad for Ocon. Probably not. I think the in general, I would advise against using points hits for sideways moves among your cheap budget drivers, right? I think Lindblad is a fine hold. Do I think he's going to increase in price? Probably not. It's not the worst transfer in the world, but you're probably not gaining any points from it. You're probably just doing it for the budget play, if anything, right? Alright, guys, I just want all of you to know that we are currently on 29 likes with like 300 people in the chat, so make sure to go down and like the stream. It's completely free, and it lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job, so thank you. Let's get that up to at least like 75. At least 75. I gotta do that sometimes. I mean, I gotta push it at some point. No, the Sims are really interesting. I truly don't know why the love for Ferrari is this high, but I can only imagine that it is because they're expecting a lot of overtakes at the start. I'm just figuring out what to do here. I think I'm doing Behrman out on this team. Is it Colapinto that's next in line here? I think it is, yeah. '21. I kind of want to get Ferrari in here. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to build this team. It's difficult. This seems like counterproductive. I think on this team I have no choice but to like keep Racing Bulls for another race. I mean, I'm obviously playing differential with this team. But how differential, you know what I mean? I think it's just do this and set it up. And then I'll have 3 transfers in Canada for this that I could do like Russell, Mercedes, Racing Bulls, probably, to whatever lineup I want. I don't think there's anything I want to do here. Alright, back on the main team. Back on the main team. But thank you so much for the super chat, Peter. Kimi Antonelli or Charles Leclerc? I think a lot of people are going to be on Antonelli just because of how good he is as a long-term hold. If you feel like taking a punt, I wouldn't mind Charles Leclerc, man. I think Leclerc could be really, really good in the sprints specifically. Have the mini leagues historically been better later into the season? What do you mean, like the mini leagues, like like the Kimi Antonelli league, like this, like these ones, or do you mean the? Okay, currently selecting tier 3 to get the Antonelli mini league. Are the mini leagues any better later in the year? Historically, I think they have been. But the other reason to do it is maybe there are less people playing at that time, and people have used more of their chips. So if you're planning on sacking your Team 3 for one of these mini-leagues to try and win it, I would wait and do it later in the season when more people have used their chips. Yeah, better mini-league rewards. I mean, the rewards themselves are usually, you know, along the same thing. But if you're actually trying to win some of them rewards, I would hold off until, like, end of the season. I can imagine that there's going to be, like, you know, for the Middle Eastern races, like the final 2 or 3 races, if we end up rescheduling Saudi. What do you think about Alpine? Yesterday was super. Alpine's good, man. But I'm just not sold on them as F1 fantasy options because they are a bit more expensive. And right now they just seem like the 5th place team. So I don't know how many overtakes and positions gained they're gonna get if they're just gonna remain in the same spot. I actually kind of prefer the those that are gonna do a lot of overtakes in the back, like Audi for fantasy purposes. Is Limitless good this week? I don't think so. I'm personally anti-Limitless here. No negative thoughts. I think no negative is a fine use, but if the rain is as biblical as the forecasts predict, then we could be in a situation where the no negative doesn't do anything. Just because, like, they just red flag the race and then the points are awarded and nothing else. I've got a second tier where I'm trying to get as low points as possible, so who do you reckon is going to crash DNF this weekend? I mean, triple Aston. Probably triple Cadillac, and then one more, right? So that's probably the play. Who that final play is? Maybe a Bortoletto shunt. Berman or Ocon a better option? Let me explain this once and for all, okay? Right now, because of Behrman's DNF in the last round, generally I'd say Behrman is better than Ocon. Better at overtakes. Historically, he's gotten more points. He is the more informed driver. However, because of Behrman's DNF last week, or, you know, a month ago now, he is not a guaranteed price rise. He needs 13 points, which is, you know, not easy to hit. Definitely doable, but not easy to hit. I think Ocon is definitely the safer pick for budget. And has also been pretty solid in terms of avoiding DNFs recently. Whereas Behrman is the driver with the higher ceiling. Like, I don't see Ocon going and picking up a 30-pointer. Behrman could go and pick up a 30-pointer. And I would like to be there when he does, personally. But at the same time, I could also see Behrman getting, you know, 5 points and then not rising in price. And then Ocon also gets 5 points and he rises in price. And then obviously Ocon's better. In addition to that, if for next week, because Behrman's monster haul in China is going out of rotation for how we calculate the budget rises, Behrman needs a pretty extreme weekend here in Miami to be guaranteed to rise in price in Canada as well. Now, obviously, Canada is also a sprint race, so he could get that score there as well. He has a chance to do it for 2 weekends in a row. But anything below like 20 points in Miami for Behrman means he needs like 20 plus points in Canada. Does that make sense? Right? Behrman, like, if Behrman scores 10 points, or even say Behrman does increase the maximum price, say Behrman scores exactly 13 points and increases 0.6 million, Behrman would need like 25 points to increase the maximum price in Canada. I don't know the exact number, but it's something like that. So at that point, Behrman becomes a sell. So if you're choosing between Behrman and Ocon now, you can kind of save a transfer by transferring Behrman out and keeping Ocon. Me personally, since I'm doing the McLaren build, right? Where's my team? Since I'm doing this, I'm keeping both anyway. So for me, that's not really like a consideration. But if you're selling one of them for budget purposes now, I would sell Behrman. But again, don't come to me and scream when Behrman gets a 25-pointer, because I have warned you, He is capable of that. We have seen it. But in like if I had to pick one to sell, I'm selling Bearman all the time. For this week. That's a pretty long Bearman versus Ocon layout. The meeting to bring the race forward will be after qualifying today. Interesting. I feel like they would lose viewers if they brought it forward, no? That could be really, really interesting. We have to keep an eye on that. I might post a shorts if they do. Also, follow me on Twitter if you're on that godforsaken platform. I am unfortunately rather active there. If you could get both Merc and McLaren for free, would you still choose McLaren? I would definitely consider it. But it would be a much harder decision. Much harder decision. If Lindblad starts from pit, is it really worth -10 for Lawson? No. It wasn't worth it before it either. How much time before team submissions do you run to the shops? We're doing them in 15 minutes, so make the run now, buddy. 3x? I don't think I'm doing 3x here, Abhijit. I think you can, but it's also like you want to use the 3x when you know who's winning. Like you want to use the 3x when it's like Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, who can be like the big winners. Yo, Mike! Thank you so much for the support. Right, like we used the 3x last year when there were 3 drivers that could win, meaning that we got 2 of them right. Or maybe we got 2 out of 3, you know, solid drivers in our team, and we hopefully got the right 2. I didn't, but it was fine. Now I wouldn't know what to tell you. If you told me that, like, Norris won tomorrow, Norris is the 50-pointer, Antonelli is the 40-pointer, Russell is the 30, like I don't know who's, like, who the top is right now. And that uncertainty makes the 3x bad. Never mind the just the uncertainty of the rain, right? Of the weather. I just think because of the uncertainty around the top of the grid, around the win, I don't think it's a 3x weekend. Even if you are in a position where you have 2 premium drivers, I don't think it's a 3x weekend. Is Stroll a good punt? Moving on. What is the tier list? I did forget about the tier list again. I don't think we're doing a tier list today. I think it's pretty hard to call. There's like no real S tier drivers apart from maybe Ocon, and maybe like Hulkenberg and maybe Lawson. I think these 3 are probably top. Colapinto's close. Behrman's not bad. But among the top drivers, everyone's kind of equal. I think like Kimi, Leclerc, Russell, points-wise is really, really close. Yo, Ruler, what's up? Thank you for the Prime. You can get your team rated now on my Discord server. Woo! How many penalty points does Behrman have for a race miss? Great question. I believe he's close. Does anyone know while I'm Googling this? Behrman penalty points. 4 months ago. I don't care about 4 months ago. I care about right now. Oliver Behrman is on 10, according to this website that I found. And when does the next one go away? Penalty points timeline. Here we go. Oh, he's losing 2 points in Monaco. Because he had 2 points. Yeah, it expires May 23rd. That's before, that's during the Canada weekend. Okay, so he's not really in danger then. Yeah, he's not really in danger here. He would need to rack up 2 penalty points. I don't actually know, since the points expires on the Saturday of the Canadian Grand Prix, unless he gets 2 penalty points in the sprint race in Canada, I believe he's safe. So it's literally just if he can get through this weekend without a penalty point, he should be fine. And no one else is really close. No one else is really close. Cool. I just joined you to do tier list. I did not do tier list. We're not doing tier list today. I think everyone is pretty close together, so it's pretty hard to call. Yeah, F1 Fantasy Tools Mode is very bullish on Leclerc. I think this is because we have to go back to the basics of sprint races. Overtakes are super powerful in sprint weekends in F1 Fantasy because of how many points they're worth compared to how many points you get for finishing in certain positions. And because of that, the Ferraris are really, really good here, right? Especially because they're not going to have that tire deg or lose out and then get overtaken by, you know, Mercedes and McLaren. So getting the jump off the start, like off the line in those Ferraris could be really, really powerful. What are the AIs doing? What was the website? Can someone link the website? Actually, I don't think you're allowed to. Oh, I found it. No, I found it. Let's see what the AI is doing. Let's see what the AI is doing. So right now Claude is 5.9k global rank. 999 points. Without using the 3x. That is pretty interesting. Least amount of chips and currently top. Fantasy team picks. Gemini's switching to Norris. Okay, Gemini's cooked. I mean, the Claude is just kind of sticking with what we're doing, right? But they're already on the Mercedes Ferrari. McLaren, Mercedes, Lando Norris. Oh, it's doing Limitless. Oh, I was like, what in the, like, how did this happen? Okay, Gemini's doing Limitless. Okay, that's seems like a mistake. Okay, that's why Limitless is active here. So they haven't actually gotten the points for it yet. Okay, so Claude is ahead, but I don't actually think by much because obviously Gemini's using the Limitless here. So I think technically Gemini is probably ahead. Yeah, because it used the 3x in the optimal round in round 2 when these guys used their Limitless. So I think Gemini's actually ahead here. I think Gemini is the one in the driver's seats. What's the link to see the AI? It's this. This is the website I'm on. What else are they doing? ChatGPT is using its 3x. I think that's a mistake for the exact reason that I just explained. Ferrari, Audi with Antonelli, Norris. Bortoleto, Hulkenberg, Colapinto. I think ChatGPT is kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't think Claude... I mean, Claude has a good team. Not really. Like, okay, so listen, the problem here... I don't remember what Gemini's team is in the back, but look at the team that Claude has right now. It jumped to the Mercedes Ferrari team early because that was optimal according to points calculations, which was true. But because it did that, it's now stuck on Bottas, Bortoleto, and Hulkenberg. So I think Gemini is probably best off right now. What is Gemini's team in the back? Russell, Hamilton. Okay, so Gemini's on Ferrari, Racing Bulls, Russell, Hamilton, Behrman, Colapinto, Lawson. I mean, it's a fine team in the back, right? Yeah, it kind of got cooked last time around because it was on Russell and... Yeah. Points-wise, but I still think Gemini's in the driver's seats here. Curious to see how the Limitless works out for it, though. I wouldn't have played it this week if I were them. The AI likes playing the Limitless in sprint weekends. I thought this was the week to move over to 2A. It is. It definitely is. This is my 2A team. I mean, it's a very split team. It's a very colorful team. I'll give you that. $21.5k global without chip. That's pretty good. Curious comparing with the AIs. I'm sorry for not being on Do Not Disturb. If you just check your Discord, I'm so sorry. Whoops. That was Ruler, by the way. Lamel. Alright. But yeah, no, we're not doing the tier list this week. Long-term meta team, I mean, it's probably... If you told me right now, pick a team that you're gonna have for the next 5 races, it would be something like this. I think this is the team I would pick if I was forced to play for 5 races. What's up, Blue? Do you recommend using any chips this weekend? No, personally, I'm not gonna use any chips. I was just on Rob's stream and he was threatening to shave his mustache. Please take action.
Get the global markets.
Stupid ads. Why am I hearing threats of mustache shavings? How dare you leave the club? Boom. We'll drop that. Limblad could get some good overtakes. I agree. Oh, well, pit lane is difficult in sprints. Will Limblad starting pit lane impact his expected points too much? I think it will. It depends on DNFs, obviously. If he gets like if there's a yellow flag or a safety car or something early in the race, he will really benefit from it and gain a lot of points, or has a lot of potential to gain points. But if the race is pretty clean, like if the sprint is pretty clean, that pit lane start could mean that he doesn't really gain too much. I mean, I'm still expecting him to pass both the Astons and both the Cadillacs. So I guess that's 8 points. So, I mean, that's a pretty good start. What do you think the tipping point is between taking points for transfers and just using wildcard? I think it's once you are up at a -20. If it's a -10, I would not use the wildcard for it, especially not this season. If it's like a -10 and it's like late in the season, you have like 5 races left, yes, you might as well just go and use the wildcard at that point. But in a season like this, with the regulations the way they are, and the upgrades are going to come thick and fast now, I think if you're just doing a -10, I think you save the wildcard. I think it's worth it to keep the chip. Thoughts on Norris and Gasly? Norris is really interesting on a Limitless if you're playing that this week. Not that I think you should. The problem with Norris is that it needs 80 points to increase the maximum price, and I don't really like those odds too much. So for that reason, I don't think I would take the punt on him. I'd much rather take the punt on the McLaren constructor and get the Norris points that way. Gasly, what's his budget actually? I'm unsure about Gasly's budget requirements. It's 13 points, so that's kind of tough to hit considering where he is on the grid. I just think he's too expensive, man. 13 million is a lot of money. Not that he's not been good, like, he's definitely been really solid, but I think he's gonna get, like, 15 points, by the way. So, I definitely think he's a good option. There's just, at that price point, he's difficult to fit in. McLaren versus Mercedes, that's the big question this week, I think. I'm going McLaren now because it just makes so much sense for my team. I'm sorry, Matthew, I'm not gonna join too many leagues. It clutters my, my account. Thank you for supporting, though. Expected points, Haas versus Alpine. I mean, if you're already on one of them, I wouldn't use a transfer to switch, because you're kind of owning them for the budget gains and not necessarily the points. Why did you pick Antonelli over Leclerc? Antonelli, for me, is just a better long-term hold. But it's not... I mean, I could still go for Leclerc if we're feeling spicy. I think this build has more upside potential because you're doubling up on the Ferrari assets. RNG Blue, welcome to the Twitch, says, do you think McLaren is better than Mercedes this week? It's hard to say. I think they're about equal, and for that reason, I think the McLaren is better, because McLaren's cheaper, and I can get to it without using a points hit. Does that make sense? But I think in terms of actual points, how many points they're gonna get, how valuable they are points-wise, I think they're actually equal. Leclerc over Antonelli for me, says Leclerc is favored for driver of the day. Is he? Maybe he is. Ooh. Drop Russell for Antonelli, but will lose a needed transfer. Yeah, that's the problem with Russell builds. Lindblad starting from pits. Yeah, Lindblad is starting from the pits. That is confirmed. Also, I'm so sorry for all these notifications. I need to put on Do Not Disturb. There we go. There we go. Sorry. Driver of the day factor. Yeah, what is the driver of the day today? Is it Leclerc? Or not today, but tomorrow. That's hard to call. Next race, bring back Antonelli Merc. Could be. The problem if I do Leclerc, right? I don't think I can get back to Antonelli Merc. I would have to take a -10. Yo, Blazy, you're 14-8 in GC. Sheesh. I have not done my battles. I'm doing it tonight. Holding Lindblad now is probably a good idea. What does he need? He needs 20 points, right, for a price increase. That's kind of hefty. I think it's fine. Like, I think he's a fine hold. I think he's a fine. I don't think I would go out and buy Lindblad. Yeah, good luck on your final 8, Blazy. Yeah, I'm probably doing them tonight. I didn't have time to do mine yesterday, so... Why not do Leclerc plus Hulk plus Ocon plus Law, Lindblad, Mercedes, and Ferrari? Because it would cost me a -10 to do it. What's the downside? The downside is that I have to take a -10 to go for it. Best team for 109.5, you're using wildcard. It depends if you want to go for the McLaren hype or if you're going to go for Mercedes, the tried and true. Because it's probably just like Antonelli, Ferrari, Mercedes, Ocon, Lawson, maybe Behrman, Hulk. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Kisovsky. Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really good team study. It's just that, for me personally, I like doing the McLaren pit stop, if you will. And then, if the McLaren punt doesn't work out for this week, I can always just go for Mercedes next week. Is it a good idea to hold Bearman? Yeah, I had a pretty long explanation of it. We're gonna do team submissions after this, by the way. But essentially, like, I think you can go back like 20 minutes, and that's probably when I had that explanation. But essentially, like, Bearman is a higher ceiling, but if Bearman doesn't perform now, then, you know. Yo, Kalandori, what's up? Keep me going to the moon, you're gonna win the league. Good day, Fraser. So if it's -20 or more, use wildcard? Yes. That's what I would say. Make sure to like the stream, guys. We're gonna do team submissions now. Ocon versus Colapinto. Ocon in my mind. I think it's a pretty clear cut and dry case there. Alright. We are at 350 people on YouTube with 108 likes. That means that 250 of you that are currently listening to this have not liked the stream. Let's get it up to 150 and then do team submissions. If you're new to the stream, top of the hour, an hour into the deadline stream, we always rate your guys' teams. As always, I'm not going to be able to get through all of them, but make sure to pay attention to the teams that I talk to, even if it's not your team, because there's only so many viable combinations currently in the game. So perhaps the tips that I'm giving someone else applies to you as well. I'd rather spend a bit extra time, talk for, 2-3 minutes on one team than just raffle through a bunch and just saying something and not explaining my thoughts behind it. If you want to guarantee that your team gets reviewed, you can do so either by becoming a member on YouTube for about $2, or subscribe on Twitch, either with a Prime subscription or regularly. And then link that to the Discord. The Discord link is in the YouTube channel. I think it's on Twitch as well. And if your Discord account and your Twitch/YouTube account is linked, you will have access to the Priority Team Submissions channel. So, right now, we only have the one Priority Team Submission for today. I think if we still have Haluku here, should also be a priority one. He just didn't have access to it, so I'll have to fix that manually later. As always, if you don't want your name to be shown on Discord, make sure you change it in the server, because I want to know who I'm talking about. Here we go. Oh, I haven't submitted yet. Cool. If you pop it now, I'll keep an eye on it. Are you all going no negative? No, I'm not. I'm staying no negative less. Alright. Kalandori. Currently, like, top 1k in the world, by the way. 109.5 million budget is crazy. Antonelli, Russell, Ferrari, Racing Bulls, Bearman, Lindblad, Colapinto. The McLaren play, it looks pretty strong, right? You just go McLaren, Russell to Hulkenberg, Racing Bulls up to McLaren. The Mercedes play, Russell to Hulkenberg, V-Carb to Mercedes. Yeah, he can just afford that when you're rich. When you're rich, you can just afford that. You have the option. I think it's really close what you go for here. The McLaren play with a -10 for Ocon, I wouldn't go that far. I think Lindblad is a fine hold just because of his pit lane starts. I think you're just flipping the McLaren versus Mercedes coin here. I think the higher upside play is going for the Mercedes play. It's gonna be less common this week. I think a lot of people are going for McLaren. And in addition, you already have Antonelli. So if Antonelli does well, then the Mercedes Constructor does well. So I think the Mercedes Constructor is the higher upside play, whereas McLaren is maybe the safer play. Spreading your hedging your bets slightly. But I think all teams are good. Obviously, this leaves you very flexible for Canada with whatever you want to do, Lindblad or otherwise. Especially considering that you might have to sell 2 cheap assets. Because, imagine you do the McLaren play here. I guess it's kind of the same. You still have 1.6 million in the Mercedes. Okay, but I think for you, Kalandora, you have to consider that whichever one you get here of Mercedes or McLaren, you're probably keeping for Canada as well. Because there is a chance, or a risk rather, that, say Lindblad doesn't get his 20 points. He has a bad week in Miami. Only scores a couple. And then Behrman also only scores like, 10. Then you probably have to sell both Behrman and Lindblad for budget reasons in Canada. So those are like two transfers that are kind of booked in that sense. Meaning that you won't be able to afford an additional switch here unless you go for wildcard or a -10. So I would say probably go for the Mercedes play and hope that that works over the next 2 weeks. What's the Discord? It's in the link. Is in the description, Raikkonen. So it's my the Rain Fantasy Discord. Vasilev with another priority submission. Option 2, no option. What do we have here? Team 1. Current league position 19,575. Current states, expected points 242. Option 1, 258. No option 2. I mean, then we go for option 1. This is kind of close to what I'm going for. But you're going for Mercedes, which means that you're going for Bortoleto here. Is there any way you keep Lindblad in this? This is very interesting. So you go for... You're actually doing the Antonelli to Leclerc swap. So that's 1. And then... I'm assuming you have 3 transfers available. You can afford to upgrade Bottas here, no? To something? Maybe you can't. I'm not sure I love the Bortoleto-Bottas pick here. Maybe the Bortoleto could be someone else. I actually prefer to keep Lindblad, if I'm honest. But maybe you can't afford that. No, you should be able to afford that. What else do we have? More teams. The Russell Antonelli Ferrari. Okay, this is what Calandori was on. So, I mean, this is basically what we just discussed with Calandori. So, we're going to skip that. Bortoleto fan, it seems. I rate it. I mean, that is a big differential. Not a lot of people are on Bortoleto this week. Team 3, though. This is close to my Team 2, which I was very unsure what to do with. Just invest for first third of the season. No chips we used before wildcard. Yeah, okay, cool. I like it. It's a money cow. Only 107.2 though. You're at 109.1 with this. Global league position 1,136. Submitted your priority team submission. Here we go. Fraser, just one change. Lindblad, Lawson. Saves 3 transfer next race. Yup. People are underestimating Merc assets. I agree. Those transfer out will bring them back for following Canada. I bet they will be strong in quali and race as they can adjust setup between sessions. I think that's a great assessment by Fraser here. And considering you switched to Mercedes Ferrari last week, you're in a good spot. You already have Hulkenberg. I agree with the Lindblad to Lawson switch. It's definitely a safer play. Obviously, Lindblad could pop up with like a 15-pointer if he overtakes the correct cars. But I definitely like this. I don't mind the Mercedes pick. I'm just going for the McLaren pick myself because it's how it better suits my team structure. All right, let's go to the regular team submissions. We have Nixie probably, unless football player is here. This is posted yesterday, so usually I go for the ones that are posted the day of. So I'll go back up to yours, football, if you confirm that you're here. But if not, we're gonna start with Nixie because I know he's here. Did Haluku submit here? Nothing yet. Okay, cool. First screenshot is your current team. 2 free transfers, 108.7 in the budget. Move to the 2A constructor build. The question is Mercedes or McLaren, as it is for a lot of us. Another key question is if I take a -10 to shell the shaky Lindblad. I don't think you do. I think Lindblad, starting from the pits, is probably on for like an 8 to 10 pointer in the sprints. And can then maybe has a chance to reach some heights if the race goes well for him. Alright, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm assuming this is all different versions of the team. Yeah. I don't think I would take a -10 to sell Lindblad. And whether you go for Mercedes or McLaren here, both are with Ocon in, it looks like. I think the team's just good. No matter what you end up doing. I think keeping Lindblad is perfectly fine. And I would not use a -10 for it. As for the no negative, I'm personally not using it because I'm expecting the rain to be torrential. So I think they're just gonna red flag it, and we're not gonna get that much use out of it. But if you're scared of it, or not scared, is the wrong word to use. But if you're worried, I think no negative could be a play. It is a rainy sprint race. What else are we using it for, right? But I'm gonna hold mine. Any update on the weather? Should we use no negative? The update is that they are apparently holding a meeting after qualifying if they're gonna move the race up by like an hour or so, because the rain tomorrow is the worst later in the afternoon. So the worry is that they're not gonna be able to finish the race on time, or like a half an hour, 45 minutes into the race, there's gonna be lightning. And if lightning strikes, they basically have to shut down the event for 2 hours. Can I summarize the weekend info? That's basically it. It's basically McLaren are back. We don't know who's fastest anymore. Most people are moving to a team such as this with 2 premium constructors. Ferrari, McLaren, or Ferrari, Mercedes. And there might not be a race tomorrow. Yeah, thank you so much, Nixie. If you are on a similar team, original team with Russell build, similar to your team too, will definitely need to wildcard to get meta, though I have 3 transfers, go with Ant or Oscar. I prefer going with Antonelli. I think Antonelli is a better long-term hold. I think Oscar Piastri definitely want to keep an eye on, but he's also not guaranteed a price rise. So I think I like the McLaren constructor more than I like the McLaren drivers for the picks. So this is the wildcard team. I think wildcard, if you're on the team that I was on here with the team 2, is pretty good, but it scares me to use it now. But I truly don't know what else you would do with this team. Otherwise, there's too many transfers that you need to do, especially with Gasly in there as well, to get to a team like the 2A constructor meta. Can you show your pick? Yeah, I will in a second. I can just do it now. I don't know why I'm delaying this, but I don't know if it's Leclerc or Antonelli. It's Leclerc or Antonelli here. I have not decided yet. If I'm feeling cheeky, I'm going for Leclerc. If I'm feeling safe, I'm going for Antonelli. If you have 3 transfers used 2 this week, does the 3rd unused get rolled over to next weekend? Yes, that's how it works. So you can roll over 1 transfer each week. Whoever wins tomorrow will be turned to dust by a lightning strike on the podium when he holds the trophy up. That is some dark stuff. All right, moving. Oh, okay. So, okay. I mean, the question is, should you use wildcard for this? I think it's an actual good time to jump off this team, especially since Russell is not guaranteed to be like the main man anymore. I think it's a good time to jump off of it. Whether you go for this or Ferrari plus Mercedes, I don't know. I don't think you go for Piastri. I think if anything, you go for Antonelli or Leclerc here. But obviously you can also go for Ferrari plus Mercedes if you want to, with 1 more downgrade in the cheaper department. I think it's a good time for you to use wildcard. If I was on this team, on my mate team, I think I would go for wildcard. I mean, it's either wildcard or you keep the structure of 1 premium, 1 budget constructor until Monaco. Because like there's no reason for you to upend your team a bit now and then a bit in Canada, I feel like at that point it's better to just use the wild card. So I think either you commit to running like Mercedes Haas or Ferrari Haas or McLaren Haas. You commit to running that for these 2 sprint weekends, and then in Monaco you either wild card or go for the for a limitless play perhaps, or you switch to 2 premium constructors then, or you use the wild card now. That's what I would do. Russell sucks, will never get driver of the day. I agree. Frankly, I agree. I think Russell needs to be the favorite to win, and he's not the clear favorite to win to be a good asset in fantasy at the moment. Because you need him to pick up fastest lap, you need him to actually win the race, and he's just so unpopular, which I don't get, but he just is. We have another very similar team here to this one, only with Lindblad instead of Gasly. So option 1, just swap. So basically same goes for you, Planko, with I just said for Brennan, that if you're wildcarding, you go for something like this. Again, like it could be Leclerc, it could be Mercedes, whatever. Or you kind of commit with a team like this for 2 more races and then move to the meta in Monaco. Valid gamble. Original team was 2x Ant, Ocon, Leclerc, Ferrari, and Haas. I mean, this is basically the team I'm going for, only with Lindblad instead of Behrman. Oh, but you have Mercedes. Yeah, I mean, this is a really good team. This is a fantastic team. There's not too much to say about this. I'm gonna kind of skip past the ones. I mean, you know, the ones that look the same, the ones we've seen before, because I'm gonna talk about that when I talk about my team. But I'm gonna see if I can see anything that jumps out at me. This is pretty much the same. Let's see, Millie, Antonelli, Ferrari, Mercedes looks really good. No real complaints here. Team 2 have 107. Ferrari, McLaren. Checo is interesting. I think I'd switch this to... This is very... have you already used transfers here? Or did you just have McLaren from last week? Better picks if he wins the race, his favorite driver of the day, and also Monaco in 2 races time. That's a good point, actually, Chris. I'm very curious if you had McLaren from last race, or if you've used the transfer to buy them now. Because if this is, I don't know what transfers you've made to this team, because I think I would choose, like, I think I'd choose Hulkenberg over Checo here, personally. But other than that, I mean, I agree with the team. Had McLaren's last race, no transfers done. Wow. 1 step ahead. Yeah, very interesting. You have a lot of options then. Your team is very unique because you're kind of like 1 step ahead of everyone else. So while we're chasing to build your team, you can take an additional step forward. I mean, I definitely see the point in the Leclerc switch. But yeah, I think... Do you sell Lindblad? Yeah, I think Lindblad's getting like 10 points in the sprints. Can he get another 10 points in the race? That's the question. If not, you want to go to Ocon here. So I think you maybe go like Ocon Hulkenberg for Lindblad and Checo. I think that's what I would do. And then just keep the rest. Maybe do the Leclerc swap if you really fancy him as the option, right, for you. Interesting team. Very fun that you had McLaren from last race. Not many people did. What's the Bortoleto hype? I don't get it. Obviously, if you have him, you can, like, if you already had him, you can kind of just keep him and take the price drop. I would personally not want to keep Bortoleto. I think he's nailed on for a negative price, rise or a price drop. I don't know why I worded it like that. So, I mean, if this is Hulkenberg, I like this team way more. if you ever want to switch to the double premium constructor, you with Gasly and Russell in there, you're kind of forced to wildcard. But again, at this point with this build, I think you're kind of fine to stick with this for another 2 races, right? I'm just not sure how much I like Russell. I much prefer Antonelli, Leclerc, and they're cheaper. Who instead? I mean, instead of Bortoleto, I'd go for Hulkenberg. I think Hulkenberg is just Bortoleto but better. It's cheaper. He's gonna rise in price. I wouldn't take like a minus 10 points hit. I don't know if you've already made transfers to this team or not, but I much prefer Hulkenberg to Bortoleto for the next like 2-3 races. And then I really like the Gasly pick. Like if you're sticking with this structure of a team, I think this is probably how you do it. Maybe it's someone else over Russell. Like maybe it's Antonelli or Leclerc instead, just because Russell's just not getting driver of the day anymore. Or anymore, ever. And so, I mean, your option is either wildcard to the meta 2 premium constructor build, or rock with this over the sprint weekends and make sure, like, okay, I'm gonna pause the music when I say this because this is so unbelievably important. Teams like this are viable now. Maybe they're not like the highest up in the points calculations on F1 Fantasy Tools, but this could be viable now because you're gaining some budget, you have different jumping off points, yada, 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 yada. In Monaco, this is not viable anymore, okay? If you don't have 2 premium constructors in Monaco, either by using Limitless or by actually switching to 2 premium constructors, you're playing the game wrong. Keep the music off, please. I like the music, though. I'm sorry, Merger. Music stays on. So, yes. Basically, every team needs to have 2 premium constructors in Monaco. Every team. No negative chip. It's a no to the no negative chip for me. Are you too late for team submissions? Kind of. Rain turning his chair around and sitting backwards in it to give us some real talk. Yep. I'm not going to do it in this chair. But you get the point. Alright. There's Haluku for the priority. We have another priority one, I think. Ooh, decision made. Nice, Vasilev. Can I just do this here? Oops. Send you a friend request. That's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. Oh, wait, there. Add roll. Wow. Okay. Well, rolls are gone. I'll solve it later, Haluku. I'll solve it later. I'll solve it later. So Haluku is a member on YouTube, so he should have priority team submissions, but doesn't for some reason. Because his thing is not working. Leclerc differential. I like it. I think... Oh, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I want to go for it. For my own team, you know? With Limitless in Monaco. That's very interesting. I'd like to hear it. Staking Ferrari Mercedes. I'd like that. Blow Police Supply. Which is better, Leclerc Antonelli. I'm gonna do... Okay, we're literally... Okay, Ryan. Or is it Ray? Is Ryan or Ray? We're gonna talk about Leclerc versus Antonelli for like 30 minutes after this, up until the deadline. I promise you, because that's the one thing that's left on my mind. That's the only decision that I have left to make. So that is the thing we're talking about for the next 30 minutes. Don't you worry. I'm getting to it. So, current choice, Antonelli. I mean, I like it. I mean, Limitless in Monaco. Love Limitless in Monaco. Current only pairs to Hulk. Save 1 transfer. Since you will Limitless in Monaco. I mean, you don't... Since you're using Limitless in... I guess you want to set it up as best as you possibly can. Current team, yeah, only go to Hull. It's definitely an option. I mean, you don't need to make any other transfers. I guess it kind of sucks to go without Ocon, but I think we'll definitely... I think you can definitely get away with not running Ocon this week. And then just getting Hulkenberg. having 3 transfers to set up your team perfectly for... I mean, you could even, with 3 transfers... So, with 3 transfers, Haluku, what you could do is you could just get Hulkenberg this week. Next week, you could even sell 1 premium constructor to, like, set up your team even better for the Limitless. I know that's kind of spooky, but you could actually do that. And then, like, wildcard out of it. If you use Final Fix, can you roll your 3rd free transfer? I mean, if you use Final Fix is like a separate transfer, so it doesn't take from a transfer that you've saved. It's a separate thing entirely. Yeah, either one race, definitely not a given. I 100% agree. And that's what we're gonna talk about now, because I have not decided what I'm doing. We are on 171 likes on YouTube. 370 people here. 200 of you had not liked the stream yet. Let's try and get that to 200 likes. We're so close. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. We're so close to 5k subs. That has been the goal for a long time with this channel. I would love to hit it at some point. Why do you think Franco is not a good swap out for Ocon my team and Checo switch a Hulk is the team you hearted? Because I prefer I mean I just prefer Colapinto to Paris in general. But I mean I guess you could do Colapinto out instead of Paris to Hulkenberg. It's kind of the same vibe. I just worry that those Cadillac cars are gonna break down at any point. So I've been scared of owning, and I've been purposely avoiding Cadillac cars this entire season. Which, you know, the people who've run Checo have had a good time. But that's in general. I see Cadillac, I go, ooh, you know. Is Limblad like to go up 0.6? He's starting from the pit. I think he's getting 10 points in the sprint race because he's overtaking the Cadillacs and the Astons. But then it's your question. I mean, my question to you is, do you think that he will score an additional 10 points in the race? I've done F1 predicts. I've done F1 predicts. All right. So, I'm quickly going to go to the bathroom. When I come back, I'm locking in my team, and we're doing tip of the week, okay? I'll be back in 2 minutes. I cannot hold myself any longer. All right. So, you know what you know what time it is. It's good to be back. It's great to be back even. Get your tip of the week predictions in the chat. What do you think tip of the week is? Crank it up. We'll crank it up. Okay, we're looking at that in a second. What? What? Wait. Huh? Dylan, are you lying to me? Hold up, can we get some confirmation on this before I do anything? What? Hold up. Hulkenberg issue. Hulkenberg engine. What's the sauce? I see nothing. No, you can still transfer out. Don't forget, guys, the changes are made that, like, you can, if you've locked your team, you can go back and change it. While you're lying. Not confirmed, but looking likely. I see literally no information about this. Please, someone send, like, a DM on Discord or something. F1 TV pre-show? Yeah, I do not have that up. It was set on the Apple TV feed. Hi. I mean, that's a minus. Yeah, pit lane start for Lindblad. We're aware of that. We're aware of that. It wasn't via play. Okay, so everyone's saying it, but it's no. I see no, like. What do I do if there's no Hulkenberg? Tip of the week, no Hulk. My Uber Eats driver just told me. Okay. If not for Hulk, then what? There's nothing. There truly is nothing. What's up about Hulk? The streets are saying, or, you know, the chat's saying that he might have an engine issue and not start the sprint. You're not joking. I believe you. There's enough people saying it. I just can't find information on it. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that, because that had nothing to do with my tip of the week anyway. Okay, back on the music, and we'll be the Hulkenberg watch along stream for the next 25 minutes. Okay, so tip of the week. My tip of the week is never wrong. Hulk is on the driver tracker. Okay, okay, we're looking at this after. Okay, we're looking at this after. Tip of the week for the Miami GP is as follows. Christy got it. It's 2A time, baby. Unless you have a very specific plan or reason in mind, it's 2A constructor time. We've been waiting. We've been running Haas, V-Carb. Definitely not Aston Martin. Audi. It's 2A constructor time. We're in the big leagues now. Okay. He's starting. Okay, we're gonna watch the Hulkenberg news like hawks. Like hawks. Smoke out of the back of the car. Hulk is out. Hulk engine fire right now. Oh no! Oh no! No, 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 no. There's no way. Hulk engine. Yo, wait. Is out before the sprint. No, 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 no. Expired PU. Yup, yup, he's gone. He's gone, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Unless my entire chat is trolling. Now this is the most elaborate. Hold up, I'm opening the stream right now. Confirmation on Twitter. Tag me in it, tag me in it, tag me in it. Tag me in the Twitter confirmation. This is changing. This changes everything because, like, my entire plan was built around Hulkenberg being cheap. All right, we're. I don't think we're doing music now, bro. This is serious stuff now. This is serious stuff. Hulk is out. What do we do now? What do we actually do now? Yo, thank you for the ads. That's not. Hulk is out. F1 Fantasy Panic. Join the stream right now. Dude, can we restart the stream? Literally every tip I've said for the past, like, hour and 40 minutes have been buy Hulkenberg, get the 2A. How do we get 2A without this? Okay, hold up. Oh, okay, we need to cook. We need to cook. What was my team beforehand? I don't even remember. If I have Leclerc in here, is there anything I can do with that then? Not really. It's kind of just Bottas. I mean, we're just back to the fucking -10 now, no? Sorry for the F-bomb. Well, I mean, I can sell Behrman, but then I'm on a -10 anyway, so what's the point? And what, I sell Behrman to do what? Like 7.2 million, like what, to get Checo? That seems kind of counterintuitive. The team just doesn't work without Hulkenberg. F-bomb is warranted. Cool. Well, I'm not buying Bortoletto. Okay, listen. Guys. I'm not buying Bortoletto. In that case, I'd rather buy Nico Hulkenberg. Because Hulkenberg with a -10 in the sprint can still get points in the race and like, not drop the maximum. What's Hulkenberg's budget? He can get minus... As long as he's on -7, it's kind of fine. As long as he's on -7, it's kind of fine, no? So he gets -10 for the sprint. Yeah, it's only -10. It's only -10. So he's -10 in the sprint. It's -10, which means that he would need to get 3 points or more to not, like, have a bad weekend, right? Because a -0.6 is bad, a -0.2 I can take. It's probably just keep Hulkenberg. Actually, like, no joke, it's probably just keep Hulkenberg. No negative? Oh, shit. Might actually be cooking. Because, like, how... there's no other way to play the 2A. Like, there's literally no other way to play the 2A. Unless you're like giga rich and you can afford like Lindblad plus Colapinto. If I had 0.4 million in the bank, then like I would maybe I would go for this, right? Agree? Fresh PU for the race, true. No neg plus Hulk GG. I mean, it probably is. I mean, okay, if you're 0.4 more and you can get to Lindblad plus Colapinto, you probably do that and keep the no negative with Leclerc. Obviously, with Antonelli, you need an additional 0.4, so then you need 0.8. I'm just anti this. Like, this seems pretty bad. I mean, I think this is a -10, guys, by the way. This is still a -10. I mean, okay, so this is what we're panicking about. This is what we're panicking about. Yeah, Hulk is not starting in the sprint. His engine went kaboom. Rest in peace, Nico Hulkenberg's engine. It got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, Lou is cooking. I mean, honestly, it is probably no negative unless you can fit both Colapinto and Lindblad. Can you see Discord, please? Where? Here? Yep. There we go. Hulk is just out. I mean, no negative is not bad, and then you just pray that he gets like 3 points in the race with a fresh engine. What do you think about Paris? I think Paris is fine. I just don't like picking the Cadillac unless I don't know. Hulk or Bortoletto? I mean, probably Hulkenberg. Like, Hulkenberg is just better than Bortoletto even with the -10. Probably. Why take a -10 with a team you don't like is the same to take a -10 for Hulk. True! True. Do you sell Audi now? I mean, maybe? Probably. That should probably have been your plan anyway. Colapinto instead of Hulkenberg? I can't afford that. I can't afford that. Like, this is my team. Like, what? There's nothing I can afford here that I like. And, like, why? And I 100% agree with what, like, why would I take a -10 to go for this team that I like less when the Hulkenberg is the -10 already? Yeah, Hulk plus no neg and F the Sunday weather. Yeah. I mean, okay, Louis is 100% cooking. I agree with Lou 100% here. Do the math, bro. What happens if there's no sprint and he can do the race? Well, he gets -10 in the sprint, and then what? He probably gets like a 6-pointer in the race. Classic. New engine though. Disaster, or is it exciting? Okay, so, we were going to talk about Antonelli versus Charles Leclerc. That was my plan for the last half of this, but now we're forced to talk about Hulkenberg instead. I'm going no negative in Hulkenberg because this team needs Hulkenberg to sustain the 2A constructor. There's no other way to do it. I might as well put on a no negative. Is Lindblad going to score well? I think Lindblad is going to score 10 points in the sprint for overtaking like 5 cars. And then then you need him to score an additional 10 in the race tomorrow. Close that Audi factory. You Hulk on 2 teams, no negative both? Maybe. I mean, if you can afford to go for something other than Hulkenberg, like, just do that instead. But if you're, like me, kind of forced to go for Hulkenberg, then I'm gonna go for Charles Leclerc, by the way, over Kimi Antonelli. I don't give a I'm on the Leclerc hype train. I trust the Sims. I'm doing no negative. I'm doing no negative on this on main team. I'm doing no negative on main team. Dodging the Hulkenberg negatives. Boom. I did it. I have Hulkenberg on this team as well. But here I have infinite money, so I can just change this to anyone else. I mean, okay, let's be honest. This team is wildcarding soon anyway, so I might as well just go for Gasly. Agree? Agree. Yeah. This team is wildcarding soon anyway, so we're doing Gasly to play the differential. And we're not going to use the chip here, and here I didn't even have a Hulkenberg, so I'm fine. So I only have to use no negative on this team. Why did he go Leclerc over Kimi? Because I think Leclerc is going to overtake 4 cars off the start of the line and get like a 15-pointer in the sprint. And then I also think he's a good long-term hold. I think Leclerc right now is favored to win Monaco. Saves a transfer in the future. And no negative does not counter if you do more than 3 transfers. Well, it is a guaranteed -10 that it saves, Anthony. And I was already considering it due to the rain, right? Like, the rain on Sunday already had me thinking about the no negative play. And I was kind of convincing myself to not play it. But now, with the additional Hulkenberg, it's just there. Best Limitless team, according to you? I wouldn't play Limitless this week. I think it's too unsure who's going to win. But if you had to go for it, I'd say it's probably... I mean, it's Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, pick 2 of the 3 and pray that you get it right. And then it's probably Antonelli, Russell, Leclerc, Norris, Piastri. Maybe Max Verstappen in there. I mean, you definitely skip out on Hamilton. Is wildcard on the menu? Yes, always. Always on the menu. Not for me, though. I don't trust Audi anymore. I haven't for the longest time. Burning chips like crazy? I know. It's one of those seasons. Nico to Colapinto, decent? Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you can afford to go up to Colapinto, I don't think you need to do the no negative play. You only do the no negative if you're forced to have Hulkenberg. If you can get to a 2A lineup when you have like a Colapinto or a Lindblad here instead, just do that, bro. What's up with the no negative Hulkenberg news? This is what's up. That's what's up with Hulkenberg. We might just keep this on the screen now because this is what's happening. Hulkenberg's car got hit by a bazooka. What about a Paris instead? I don't like the Paris pick, personally. I think he could do well, but like, you know. Yeah, this is what's up, bro. I can just leave this on screen and like what else needs to be said? What else needs to be said? No negative over Paris? Well, okay, listen, if I'm going to Checo Paris, I need to take a -10 for it. So why? So my logic is, why would I go for take a -10? I mean, this is what Lou said as well. Legendary chatter. Why take a -10 to get a team with Checo and Colapinto that I don't like when I can take the -10 on Hulkenberg instead and keep, like, Behrman Ocon, you know? What about Bortoleto and Hulkenberg together? I mean, are you happy having Bortoleto with this? Lindblad in for Hulk? If you can, yeah. I mean, if you can get Lindblad, or if you can, even if you can get Paris, right? But if I wanted to get Paris or Lindblad or anyone, if I wanted to upgrade Hulk, I need to take a -10 for it, and that's not worth it. But if you have enough money in the bank to just go Hulk straight up to Checo, or Hulk straight up to Colapinto, definitely go for that. Verocity, thank you so much for the sub. Have you decided what your final team is yet? Yes, it's this with no negative. I think I'm leaning Leclerc over Antonelli. What about Bottas? Bottas is just dropping in price further, no? Bottas... maybe he survives it. Who to take instead of Hulk? Okay, listen. If you can go to any of these guys, right? If you can upgrade to Checo, Lawson, Colapinto, Lindblad, like any of these 4, while still keeping the same amount of transfers, just do that, okay? Ignore the no negative, ignore Hulkenberg, just go for one of these 4. I can't afford that, okay? And I'm not going down to Bottas. And I'm not taking a -10 to, you know, go for this. Like, I don't like this for a -10. I'd rather just take the -10 and the no negative. Colapinto or Lawson? Lawson. Out of these four, it's Lawson. No-brainer, in my opinion. Is no Mercedes riskier for this and next week? Of course it is. But I'm willing to take that risk. How much will Bottas drop this race? Depends on if he can score 10 points or not. If he scores 10 points, he increases 0.6. If you can't use no negative, I mean, okay, listen. I still prefer Hulkenberg over those two, if I'm honest. You know it's serious when the music cuts. Yup. We're doing this raw. Worth taking out Hulk for -10? No, because Hulk is just getting a -10. Listen, a DNF or a DNS in this case in a sprint is -10 points. Just keep Hulkenberg. Just keep Hulk. Because Bortoletto's dropping 0.6 million in price, and even with a -10 from the sprint, Hulkenberg can increase in price. Flipped Antonelli Hulk to Leclerc Perez. See, that is a good switch. I think that's a great switch. I think that's a good switch. And then you don't need to play the thing. Merc with one Haas driver or McLaren with both? It depends on what other drivers you have. I have too little information to speak out on that. We have 6 minutes to the deadline, guys. 6 minutes. I'm using no negative on the team with Hulkenberg in it because I'm kind of forced to have Hulkenberg. Will Hulk's car be ready for quali? Unsure. I assume so. They probably just need to swap the engine. There's nothing, like, actually broken about the car. It's just the engine went kaboom. I have no money to get a 2A constructor. Lol, it's so over. You're fine. Build some more budgets. Get the most important thing, you don't need to get the 2A now. The important thing is that you need to get the 2A by Monaco. In Monaco, you have to have 2 premium constructors. That's the goal. So just build budget now. I actually prefer Checo over Bortoletto this week. Just because Bortoletto's definitely dropping in price. And I'm not a fan of price drops this early in the season. What's your team 2, team 3? My team 3 is just building budget. My team 2 is also kind of building budget. This team is wildcarding in Monaco. So I'm just playing it differently across my teams. Would a new PU also be a grid penalty? I don't think so. No, not yet. There's no way. Later in the season, probably. Hulk is out? Yeah, Hulk is out of the sprint. This is why. Where are you in the global league now? Like 2,900 something? What happened with Hulk? This happened. Kaboom. What a scream? Yeah, what a scream. No negative shift for racing bills build? I don't know why you would need it specifically for racing bills. If you have Hulk, then yes. Oh, for the one that I had. No, I wouldn't do that. Unless you, like, I think if you're forced to have Hulkenberg and you have no way of switching around to accommodate other drivers, like if you can go from Hulk straight up to Checo, just do that, okay? I can't do that. Like, if I want 2 premium constructors, I need Hulkenberg in there, and that's why I'm using my no negative, okay? No. You can still make the transfer, Gavin. Gavin, you can still make the transfer without taking the hits. Your team only checks what it was before and then after. You can change now. I've done like 14 transfer this stream, man, and I'm still only using 2. They changed that this year. It's actually a great change. You can make transfers like on the Monday and then come back and change it on the Friday. And you see cumulative transfers, like how many you've made total. 3 minutes. Yeah, look. Okay, I'm going to show you on my other team. See, I've used all my transfers on this team. If I go in here now, and I just do this to, say I go and buy Checo, I've still only made 3 transfers. I've still only made 3 transfers. And I confirmed it, look. We're gonna go and do it again. Go get him back. Because it counts cumulative transfers. Like, there's no additional transfers yet. But if I was to go in and do this, look. If I'm changing, because I haven't transferred this out. Like, say I was gonna go in and buy Audi. I don't know why I would do that. Then it would cost. Because I haven't swapped that slot. So that's how this works now. So you can definitely go. Yes, STC. I don't think he can drive with this engine. -10 to swap and for Leclerc? No. Best Hulk replacement out of any tier 2? I mean, okay, you either... It's these 4. You have 4 options, okay? That are, like, similar-ish price points. And it's these 4. Lindblad, Colapinto, Lawson, Checo. If you can afford to go Hulkenberg up to any of them, just do it. Okay? I can't do that. The only way to upgrade Hulkenberg for me is to take a -10. And Hulkenberg... I can just keep Hulkenberg for the -10 and use no negative. Time's up? Time's not up. Stop lying. F it, burnt with your 3rd transfer. There we go. Hated doing it, I understand, but it's fine. Some things must be done. We're watching the sprint, by the way. I'm staying live. We're watching the sprint. What a monster. Antonelli Checo or Hamilton Lindblad from Haluku? Definitely Antonelli Checo. I'm not a Hamilton fan this week. Thank you so much for stopping by, Elvis. Are we watching sprint on Twitch? Is everything fine here? Yes, everything is checked here. Yes, we're going over on Twitch to watch the sprints. So, if you're on YouTube, thank you so much for the stream. This was crazy. That Hulkenberg news really shook it up. If you want to watch the sprint with me, pop on over to Twitch. Link in the description. I'm ending the YouTube stream. So, you save my team with that nugget of information. You're welcome, Gavin. You're welcome, and thank you, Lou, for the hype. I loved the analogy you pulled with the -10 for the cumulative transfer. Just swapped out Hulk. Cheers, Legend. Cheers, Mike. Thank you so much for the membership this week. I think that's locked. Boom. We're done. Thank you so much, YouTube. If you want to watch the sprint with me, I'm live on Twitch. Link in the description below. Twitch, don't go anywhere. Peace. Yo, what's up, Twitch? It's just you and me now.